right, Nick, we did our top 10 worst episodes. You ready to do the other side of the spectrum and do our favorite episodes?
I am. And you know what? I was actually looking through the Bulbapedia list of Pokemon episodes. Orange Island actually might have some good episodes. Oh, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yay. That'll be next time.
It'll be next time when we start that.
Teasing that little nugget.
I think the first 4, man. But later, other episodes, they're fine. But let's go into Kanto, into the Indigo League.
So our top 10 favorite episodes of the first season.
All right.
So what's your number 10, Nick?
My number 10 is Computer Warrior Porygon.
The Cyber Soldier Porygon?
On Bulbapedia, it's Computer Warrior, so I'm just going with whatever.
It actually has a lot of different titles.
It does.
Because it didn't get an official, U.S.
It has a lot of
release,
translations.
So, yeah.
And it's cool because here's the guy who invented the PC storage system, not Bill. So let's see what Bill could have been doing.
He could have been inventing a freaking Pokemon.
He could have been. It would have been awesome. But no, when we see this guy, and I like him because he's a serious man, but very silly.
Mm-hmm.
And Porygon is just probably one of the best Pokemon of the episodes that there have been. Because it's so unique. Mm-hmm. We see it in its natural environment where it thrives. It can freely shapeshift. It's adorable. There's Porygon Beta, which looks exactly like Porygon. That's the one gripe I have with it. Porygon Beta could have looked like a slightly shittier version Porygon. Or a tiny version. Or shiny. Yeah, that would have been great. But shinies didn't exist yet, so it would have been weird. But, no, it has, gags. It has fucking serious bullshit things. But even the fucking serious bullshit things are funny in and of themselves. The antidote is the syringe.
Yeah.
The virus are the humans. Which you could say represents real life, with humans being a virus on planet Earth.
That is true.
Team Rocket is just... Their plan is so fucking dangerous for them, but they don't realize it. And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it uses their idiocy. Their idiocy. Huh, that was some idiocy for me right there. They use their idiocy so well in this episode. Mm-hmm. And we do see the moral upbringing of Ash. I could let them die, but
no one would say anything. Exactly.
Every character is very well represented, and Misty doesn't beat up Psyduck, so she's got that going for her.
Yay. Hooray for not being up Psyduck.
Yay.
The only downside to this episode was that it almost got the entire Pokemon series canceled altogether.
Yeah, but that's not the episode's fault.
I mean, it is, but it's not... It didn't do it on purpose.
It's not Porygon's fault, at least.
No, it is not. Poor Porygon. Banished to the netherworld of the Force.
Porygon Z would be so fucking cool in the anime.
It would be. As would be Porygon 2.
It would be really cute. Porygon 2 would be just the adorable one.
It would be. Alright, so my number 10 is the Path to the Pokemon League.
Ah, okay. That's okay.
This was the first episode that I gave higher than a 3 to. And in fact, I almost gave it a 4. Now, my problem with this episode, though, is something that apparently a lot of people have problems with, is that AJ can come across as a little abusive to his Pokemon.
He does.
And
he has a whip.
And there have been people who have made the argument of, hey, if you suspect abuse at all, then you need to let someone know because that's not okay. And the argument is that the episode kind of brushes that aside. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I completely agree with that though, because the point of the episode was supposed to be that AJ works hard and he is a hard trainer, because that's the way he gets
AJ's
to what he
not the
wants.
Mr. Mime trainer.
No,
he is training for actual Pokemon battles.
And we see that he actually gives a crap out. So he actually cares a lot for his Pokemon. And just the way that is a 180 from what Ash is just very interesting to me. Plus, it had really good battles in it. The pacing was really good in it. Team Rocket wasn't a fucking annoying piece of shit in it. So, yeah, I like this episode a lot.
I'm not going to talk about it because it's higher up on my list.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, my number 9, Electric Shock Showdown.
Electric Shock Showdown.
Because the gym battle itself is a good battle. Mm-hmm. It's just got bullshit in it.
It does.
But so does every other fucking gym battle.
That is true, too.
So of all the gym battles that have bullshit in them, this one's the best executed. It's Pikachu versus Raichu. They are, using attacks on each other. They're dodging each other, not abusively. The reason why I stopped watching Pokemon in Johto was because the abusively said to dodge.
I can't wait for us to get to that episode.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I'm almost gonna promise it's gonna be an exploded Voltorb for my score for that one. But Team Rocket is not up to their usual shenanigans. They're actually trying to cheer on Ash.
Yeah.
And they do it in a very funny way. My only gripe is that Ash doesn't even consider using other Pokemon. He's only gonna use Pikachu, and he even considers evolving Pikachu.
That plus, like, the fact that the Raichu has, like, unlimited moves and...
It has 8 moves.
Yeah, those are the reasons why I didn't even make my honorable mentions, but I will agree, that was a very good episode. Like, it was very well paced for a change, which is kind of unusual for the show, honestly, in a way. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the battle was dynamic and interesting, even if it wasn't totally canon with Pokemon itself.
Now, granted, Pikachu and Raichu do have the ability to have Lightning Rod.
They do.
And it works... probably in the anime very different for electric types than it does ground types.
You mean it doesn't make them susceptible to
No. It makes them immune to it still. For electric types, they're just immune. But, yeah, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Cyber Soldier Porygon.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I like this episode a lot. This is just a good animation episode.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because, like, you could... Like, Porygon is transforming and turning into different things. Like, we see the inside of a computer, which is super interesting. Like...
The character of the day is just a and it's great.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, talk to me in this tube. It's okay. I'm not going to do anything.
They very horrifyingly disintegrate the
They become Digimon.
They become digital files. Yeah, it's a fun episode. I like episodes I can have fun with, which isn't always a thing with the Pokemon show because like other stuff gets in the way and like the pacing. A lot of times, one of my biggest problems with the episodes are the pacing, and the pacing can get thrown off by Team Rocket especially, or by like missteps in logic. But this one just was able to have fun. I was able to have fun with it, so
now
I like it a lot.
I am curious how the scientists would have sounded if there was an English dub, because with scientists they don't have the best record for giving them pleasant voices in the English dub.
It'd probably be like, "Hi, I'm a scientist. I created the PC system."
Yeah, and it probably would have been lower on as a bowl episode.
But I mean, considering that we only have the Japanese dub,
and the Japanese dub does it well.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So yeah, it's just a good solid episode.
That's what I say about Snow Way Out.
Is that your 8?
That's my 8.
Really? Interesting.
Because it's not higher on the list because it's all about the survival of Ash. It's all about the survival of like characters. Like nothing like extraordinary happens, which granted that doesn't need to happen for an episode to be a good episode, but the other episodes do have extraordinary things happen. But it is heartwarming to see all of Ash's Pokemon willing to sacrifice themselves so that way Ash also won't die for certain by himself. It's weird that Pidgeotto's out because he never uses Pidgeotto in any other heartwarming scene. But okay, yeah, sure. I guess it makes it stronger because even Pidgeotto's out there.
Yeah, I was very impressed when we watched the episode that like it did get a genuine emotional response out of me because I honestly just kind of thought I was just gonna blow it off, especially since like the build up to it was really dumb with Ash like losing his Pikachu and there were other things about it. But overall, I was very pleasantly surprised with this episode. Plus, like Jesse eats snow. That's just funny.
Also, yeah, this is the closest thing we have to a Jesse episode other than Holiday Hijinks.
Number 8 for me is the 4th round Rumble.
Ah, okay.
This is the one with the girl with the grass type
the Bellsprout.
Bellsprout. Yeah. Now another episode in the Pokemon League tournament gets a little bit higher on this list. The reason why this one is a little bit lower because I mean the battle is arguably a little bit better in this one.
The battle's great in this one.
The battle is really good in this one. That's entirely why that this episode is number 8 on my list. But on the other hand, that's entirely why this is number 8 on my list. I mean, it's just a good, fun battle episode, so that's cool. But there's really nothing else about it that makes it really good.
That's why it's my number 7.
That's why it's your number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a really fucking good battle.
It's a really good battle.
Like that Bellsprout fucking kicks ass.
Yes. That Bellsprout was hilarious.
I don't know why they were playing funny music when Bulbasaur was getting mutilated. And the perfect counter to this Kung Fu Bellsprout would be Muck,
Yes.
who doesn't take physical hits. He's like, yeah, okay.
He's just a
I'm
giant pile
blob.
of slub. Yeah, sludge. It's a fun episode. The animation's really good in it. The this is where the entire animation budget for the show went, I think.
And this is
the battle scene for this one.
This is one of 3 characters that Ash of the 5 people he battles in the league has a personality.
Yeah.
With the middle 2 kind of just being meh.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, like, she's actually I just noticed this. She's very proper, like Mandy the Magician is.
Yeah.
That's weird that, like, 2 of Ash's battlers are that kind of archetype. Like, she's, like, more traditional proper, whereas he's more fantastical proper.
But they are total counterpoints to Ash.
And that's
which is interesting that he beats them, but then he can't beat the one who is more...
Ash.
Ash.
Who is basically the Ash clone.
Exactly. We'll get to that one later on my list.
Oh, me too.
But yeah, it's just a really good solid battle episode. You have any complaints about it?
I don't remember the first couple of minutes of it. Oh, wait, was that the one where Team Rocket was also just trying to f***ing sell shit?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That was awesome. That was hilarious.
It's pretty great.
She could have had more
personality.
More personality, and her other 2 Pokemon...
Beedrill and Scyther.
Her Scyther was pretty awesome, but her Beedrill kind of did...
Bulbasaur was just able to, like, own that Beedrill.
Mm-hmm.
It actually had to work for the Scyther, but it just destroyed that Beedrill from what I remember. It just, like, leech seeded it. So, I like Bulbasaur in it, too. It was great.
Why doesn't Bulbasaur use leech seed all the time?
I know. It's just like one-hit KO, yeah.
It either one-hit KOs or sets it up for a 2-hit KO.
Yeah. It's pretty great. My number 7 is Ash catches a Pokemon.
Oh, see, this is all my honorable mentions.
Really? That's interesting, because this was your first 4 Voltorb episode, if I recall.
It was, and it's really only not on the list because there are other episodes.
Yeah. I
probably could have replaced, like, number 10 or 9 with it, but you say why it's your number 7.
Okay, so, this was, an episode I thought more about as we went along, because when I first watched the episode, I was very underwhelmed with it, because I thought it was, like, kind of slow-paced and, whatever.
But it's not.
I gave it 3 Voltorbs. I now changed that score 3.5. It's the only one that I'm changing the score of after the fact. And it's... The reason why I like it now, especially after going back and rewatching it, was because this is one of the few episodes that really just focuses on the story of a Pokemon and Ash's relationship with it. And that's, like, all it's about. And Caterpie is a compelling character, and it has really good animation, really good, like, storyboarded animation.
Caterpie's damn adorable.
Caterpie is damn adorable.
Caterpie is probably Ash's cutest Pokemon.
It is. This was before Misty was insufferable, so it's just kind of funny watching her, like, be afraid of a bug the entire time. So, yeah, when you go back, like, if I was gonna try to get someone into the Pokemon show, this might be the episode I show them.
That's a good episode to do that with.
Yeah, because it's... And the fact that it is such a slower pace than a lot of the episodes are means that there's a lot more chance to breathe in this episode, which, my God, I never thought, like, that would be such an important thing for me, but apparently it is, because some of the episodes, like, you barely blink and, like, 40,000 things happen.
Now, the reason why it's not in my top 10 is that it sets up that Pidgeotto, for some inexplicable reason, is really fucking weak.
Yeah.
This is the infamous battle where Pidgeotto loses an air battle to a snake.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what the is with Jesse's snake, that it's terrible on land, but fucking fantastic on air and underwater.
Yeah. I do have my problems with it, but in retrospect, I think it's just a good, solid Pokemon.
It is.
Episode.
And Ash doesn't only catch a Pokemon, he catches 2 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And evolves a Pokemon.
So this is a misnomer of an episode, too. Ash catches a Pokemon? No, Ash catches 2 Pokemon, evolves 1.
Ash catches...
Pokedex, or Ash Pokedex becomes 4.
Ash's Pokedex becomes 4. Also, yeah, Caterpie has one of the coolest evolution showings of all Pokemon.
It does. It doesn't just glow and transform as a blob. It
creates a damn cocoon.
It does. It's pretty good. All right, number 6 for you?
Number 6 for me is the pi-kahuna.
Oh, nice. This one made my list too, but
Nice.
not number 6.
Okay, so it's just a good episode.
It really is.
It sets up a story for you to watch. You get invested in like this admittedly silly goal of setting a flag on top of a giant rock with a wave that only comes once every 20 years.
But it proves that you can have a silly plot. But if you make it compelling and have characters that you give a shit about,
then it's still going to be good.
it's still gonna be good.
And this Burt Reynolds motherfucker is like a really good. He's just a cool Pokemon character of the day.
Great voice actor. They designed him well.
And his Pikachu is. It shows an aged Pikachu really well. It shows that Pokemon do, in fact, age. Because it looked older. It had that whole, I'm not as strong as I used to be look. It's also got blue eyes. So does that mean a Alolan Pikachu? Isn't it good? If you give it a Thunderstone, will it be an Alolan Raichu? We'll never know, because we're not going to see that character ever again. But, it's good. That's really all I have to say about it.
It's just a good, solid episode.
Is Team Rocket even in this episode?
Yeah.
If they're only in it for like a little bit though. Or
Yeah,
something.
they steal the Pikachu and then like they get hyper beamed by a load of Gyarados.
That's it. Yeah.
And then they're gone.
Yep.
So they sort of had their point, but that was it.
Also, it shows the fucking horrors of undersea Pokemon world.
Yeah.
Like they've explored less of their ocean than we have because they're Gyarados,
And they will destroy your submarine.
and they will destroy it. What's your number 6?
All right, my number 6 is the Tower of Terror.
Okay.
Yeah, going along with episodes that like I just have fun with. This episode is I just have fun with it. Like this is one of the few episodes that I would go back and watch like right now, just because like it has a cool atmosphere. It's just goofy Pokemon being goofy. You know, Ash dies.
And he doesn't give a f***.
Doesn't give a f***. He just has fun. He's like, I'm gonna f*** with Misty and Brock. Whatever, I don't care.
I'm gonna kill Misty.
I'm gonna kill Misty. And like it's not like this is an episode that doesn't have a point. It doesn't have a goal because there's a very clear goal. Ash needs to catch a freaking ghost Pokemon. Will he get there? I don't know. He died, so it might be hard for him. Like Team Rocket's in it, but they're just fun and funny, honestly. Like so, anytime Team Rocket's in an episode, but they're just fun and funny, like yeah, I'm gonna really like it. So yeah, I have that's all I gotta say. Like I really have fun with this episode.
The ghost Pokemon behave like actual Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Halloween episode, Halloween special.
Have that on in the background of your Halloween party, and it's like, yeah, that fits.
That fits.
All right, then number 5.
Number 5.
Legend of Dratini.
Legend of Dratini.
Legend of Dratini, or the closest to the translation it can be, because it's never in America because fucking bullshit censorship.
Yeah. Well, they do shoot at the characters a lot in this episode, to be fair.
They don't shoot at Ash, they only shoot at Team Rocket.
And they deserve it.
The reason why it's banned is because they have a gun pointed at Ash. That's the reason why they always mention it. That's the picture they show. This is why it's banned. No, we have kids being pulled at guns all the time. Hell, we have that in real life. It's fucking sad as shit. We should show that happens in cartoons. They're not alone in the world.
Jessie also did that thing where she was like basically promising to marry and or the Clint Eastwood guy.
Oh, he was.
The Dratini.
But that was why it was funny. Team Rocket's up to the shenanigans, but like these are like heartfelt shenanigans. These are hilarious. Like they're dressing up as detectives. You got good cop and bad cop. You got someone saying, "Hey, I'll have sex with you if you just tell me where the Dratini is." I'm a pretty hot chick. You know you would want this. And Clint Eastwood's like, maybe, but no. Dratini is really special to me. This is really high up on my list because Team Rocket is at their best in this. They're being shot at, and James is like, "Don't worry, guys, we can escape by jumping off the coast. But won't we die? No, because I have a parachute. Oh, we're only 15 feet up. That's not how parachutes work."
Just as you're about to say, that's not how parachutes work. That's not how parachutes work.
They're playing for trying to capture Dratini when the scuba stuff doesn't work because of a mistake. Let's just explode the out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Ash and Misty are singing songs, and Brock's like, "Oh, shut the up. I don't want this."
Do you think this episode would have been as good in the English dub?
Assuming that they didn't censor anything. Yeah, if they didn't censor anything, yeah, it would have been. But knowing the English dub, they would have censored Jesse having sex with
yeah, they would have made
with
that.
Clint Eastwood.
They would have cut that out entirely, probably.
And the guns would have also been censored.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it didn't get an American dub.
What a shame, because it was actually a pretty solid episode.
Yeah.
The Dratini and the Dragonair were really fucking cool.
That Dragonair was fucking majestic.
It is. Dragonair is one of my favorite designed Pokemon. It's so cool.
Dragonite, yeah, I love you, but
your design doesn't make any sense.
You're dopey.
My number 5 is Round 1 Begin.
Oh, so Mandy Magician.
Mandy Magician. Because, first of all, it's way more satisfying to beat that motherfucker in this battle than it was to beat the other girl. Can't remember her name. Oh, she had like it was like Jeanette Fisher.
Oh yeah, it was a very English and French name, but like she was very Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. So no, yeah, it was way more satisfying for her to beat that. Also, like, because like this was the first match, the stakes were a little bit higher because this was Ash being like way more nervous about it and having to prove himself a little bit more. Him using Krabby, like, it's set up that this is a terrible idea, but then he sweeps through his team with Krabby and Kingler, which I found hilarious. So, and I found the battle, even though the battle isn't as dynamic or as interesting as in 4th round Rumble, the reason why I put this up was because when I watched through the episodes again, I was so much more invested in this one because of like the way that we set up with Ash, like this being his first battle of the Pokemon League. He's nervous. He hasn't been training. He has more to prove. He has more to accomplish with himself. And the battle is just really cool and fun too. So, and Team Rocket's hilarious when they break in and they're like, "All right, Ash, we're rooting for you now," and then they get arrested by Officer Jenny, which they're not in prison after this, which is dumb. But anyway.
Hey, aren't those the guys who committed a terrorist crime? Yeah, but it's okay.
It's okay. You want to just slap him on the wrist and send him on.
It
hurt.
Maybe you shouldn't actually slap yourself on the wrist. It's probably because of this episode that Ash gets cocky during the
That's very probable.
Because if he's able to sweep through a person with a Pokemon he has not trained at all,
yeah,
then he's probably able to kick everyone else's ass.
Yeah.
With Pokemon that he has trained.
Fair enough, by the way. Fair enough assumption.
Yeah, so is that...
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. It's a good episode. I really liked it. It had good stakes. Had more to prove, so I like it more.
My number 4 is Friend and Foe Alike.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, it's not number 1 because I would have liked a battle. Mm-hmm. But it is, as you mentioned in the episode itself, in the episode review itself, this is all of Ash's tomfoolery catching up with him.
Yep.
If Ash had just let Team Rocket die the multiple times he could have, if Ash had actually trained his Pokemon, he would have probably been able to win. Mm-hmm. He would have destroyed Richie because Charizard would have listened to him. He would have been like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, but that's Charmander. Fuck, let's kill it." And Ash would probably be at least in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. But Ash just messes up, and it's a good moral lesson for the kids. Like, hey,
work hard.
You won't win if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take, if you want to do something, take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle itself, from what Ash is able to do with his limited Pokemon, is a good episode. Until ultimately, the Charizard disappoints him because it was going to. And there's nothing Ash could have done about that.
Nope.
Except train.
I'm going to be talking about that one a little bit later on my list.
Gotcha.
But this is a really good episode.
And also, Team Rocket's just at their best.
Oh my god, they're so hilarious in this one.
Ash, we will forever chase you, no matter what ridiculous means we use to travel.
Out of every episode that's not surrounding Team Rocket, this is probably my favorite Team Rocket episode.
Yeah.
My number 4. Oh, wait. First, really quick. I want to point out something. You said during our review of it, you said that there were 2 slots left on Richie's side. But when I rewatched the episode, he was down to his last Pokemon 2 at the very end.
So it does count as...
If you recall it does count as that. It was like a First Blood type deal.
That's bullshit, I think.
Sudden death.
What if your Pokemon's at like full health and then they send out a
complete counter?
A complete counter to that. Are you just expected to like lose your Pokemon then? not like they shouldn't punish you for switching out Pokemon. They could be like, oh, you're gonna take the risk to send out a better Pokemon, while that Pokemon will be able to attack. Okay, yeah, sure. You don't lose your first Pokemon, but you might lose the Pokemon sending out. They shouldn't punish you for that.
I agree, but it does point out that he was down to his last Pokemon, so it was a 1-0 scenario. Anyway, my number 4 is the pi-kahuna.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I love this episode, actually. This almost gets a 4 out of me, and the only reason why it doesn't is because, like, this is just a filler episode, and it doesn't really go into the story or anything.
Right.
But I thought the animation in this one was superb. Like, it just freaking gorgeous animation in this one. I love the character of the day, what's his name? Not Jan, but...
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. I love the Burt Reynolds character. He's so cool. I love his story. I love the stakes that are set up with it. I love everything about it, really. I love that Ash is just being Ash. I love the Team Rocket stunt that they do.
I'm gonna go surf! Oh, I'm drowning!
Yep. When I rewatch these episodes, I got so into this one, you know? And it's great because this was just a filler episode, and I'm not supposed to be, but I am.
But hey, maybe if Ash wasn't surfing in this episode, he could have trained his Pokemon.
That's true. Well, that's true. This could have been a let's surf and train at the same time type deal, but yeah, whatever. Of all the episodes that like I just like to have fun with, this is the most fun that like I just like to have fun with.
Nice.
Like this is the only episode that I'd probably go out of my way just to watch it. Just to be like, yeah, this is just surfing Pikachu. Sure, this is great. I love it.
So
Number 3.
Mine is Path to the Pokemon League.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because as we mentioned before, AJ is a fucking hard ass trainer.
Yeah.
He does whip his Pokemon.
Yeah.
And that is up. But hey, isn't Fine Whip also a fucking whip that you apply to a Pokemon?
Ah, that's a good point.
He's just simulating that fucking exercise. So, AJ is my favorite character of the day. He shows what you can do with that script format that they have. Introduced the one guy and he has a goal. Mm-hmm. Help him do it. He does it really well. He's had 100 battles that he has to do in order before he starts his own gym challenge. He has a Sandshrew, which is a really good, cute Pokemon to have, but it's also like got that tough exterior, so it's a good balance of a mascot Pokemon to have. Mm-hmm. It represents AJ really well.
That's
and AJ.
True.
I want to watch a Pokemon Chronicles episode of Sandshrew and AJ.
Yeah,
doing something.
Not to mention, it'd be cool to see like the move Fisher in every episode.
It would be awesome to see Fisher in every episode.
I didn't know this, but apparently in Pokemon Yellow, there is a trainer who has a Sandshrew that knows Fisher.
Oh,
like very early on in the game, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
AJ. AJ's in the game.
Is he a junior trainer or something?
I can't remember. Yeah, he's like a junior trainer or something like
That's cool.
Yeah.
Team Rocket, as you said, does help push the show. Mm-hmm. They are AJ's 100th win. And AJ has like a bunch of Pokemon that he trains. A bunch of them. He's just the representative of you and I, Forrest. He is a person who EV and IV trains. And that's beautiful. He does it in like the most realistic way possible. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have to say about that. It's just a really good character of the day, and Sandshrews adorable.
And Sandshrews
but also
adorable.
Cool.
My number 3.
Number 3.
And I kind of think that your number 2 might be this. I have a suspicion. I'm not sure. My number 3 is Go West, Young Meowth.
Okay, yeah, that's my number 2.
That's your number 2? Yeah, that's what I thought. I called it.
I'm surprised you probably know my number 1, because it's probably your number 1.
It's gonna be close.
Okay.
So, Go West, Young Meowth.
This is Meowth episode.
Meowth. This is Meowth episode.
This is Meowth at his best.
This is Meowth at his absolute best. When I rewatched this episode, I forgot how like theatrical it was, and like it's just so fun. Like
it is very theatrical. Holy shit! Like you even have like the whole little side story of Ash and his crew watching the fucking terrible ass movie that they made and realizing how bad it was.
The one that made no monies at the box office.
The one where people who were invited, who got free tickets to it, did not go to. Because it's titled Pokemon in Love and has a Psyduck and a Wigglytuff just holding each other as its intro, as its poster.
Which is the equivalent, by the way, of seeing a show called Duck in Love, and it's a duck and a bunny rabbit holding each other on the poster.
I would watch that. That
sounds like a really, really f***ed up porn.
But we're
focusing on the complete wrong part of this
episode.
episode.
No.
This is a really good episode.
Meowth's origin story.
Yeah, the way that Meowth is like, he's in love, so he wants to make himself a human, but he's not a human because he's in Meowth, and it makes him a freak, and...
It's all for naught. This female Meowth that's just so terrible to him. Like, he's like, yeah, you're not a human, so what can you do for me? Oh, you're a talking cat? You're a fucking freak show. Get the out of here. Oh, hey, you were able to beat your evolution in an honest-to-God Pokemon battle? Well, too bad. You weren't there to help me, and he was, so f*** off.
And it's like, all right, well, Meowth, you're with us, because we're Team Rocket, man.
You're a loser like us.
You're a loser like us. We're losers together. And then they show up at the end, they do their little dance, and it's amazing. And it's just a good... This is one of my few 4 Voltorb episodes, and it's such a good episode. Yeah, it's just so good. Just Meowth being Meowth, and it's funny and sad at the same time, and the animation's really good.
James and Jesse stand up for him.
Jesse
instead of abandoning him like they always do.
Like every other human would. Like the humans that lynched him.
Oh my god, yeah. Who the f*** does that to a cat?
I know,
How
right?
the f*** are you not
Tie
like
him up and hang him from a
serial
tree?
killer? They probably are
God.
serial killers. They grew up and they're like, yeah, 4 women died in a month by this guy who lynched a cat in his childhood.
That's a sign of a serial killer. If you torture animals, you're gonna grow up to be a serial killer.
Yep.
Yeah, this has one of the best emotional impacts of every episode of the anime. It's character driven for a change. It's goofy and fun, but also sad and poignant. And
that title's just really good too.
The title's just really
Go
good.
west, young Meowth, and accomplish your dreams.
But you won't because you're part of Team Rocket. But in a way, maybe that is your dream. I don't know. All right,
have friends.
So that was your number 2, right?
That's my number 2. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is probably your number 1. My number 2 is Holy Matrimony, and holy shit, this was my first 4 Voltorb episode. After like 50 episodes, this was my first 4 Voltorb episode.
This was the 50th episode.
Yeah, this is because, and when I went back and rewatched it, I was blown away by how invested I got in fucking James and his Growlithe, and no episode of this anime explores a character the way that this episode does. Not even Go West Young Meowth. Because Go West Young Meowth was almost entirely backstory. This one wasn't. I mean, it had backstory as part of the overall story,
as a setup for it. Yeah.
As a setup for it, but also you have stuff with James lying about his backstory, and you have his parents who are just evil people, and you also have Jesse and Meowth pretending to be invisible for some reason. But it works until it doesn't work because we're not idiots. But you thought it was working, okay. Alright, whatever. It's so goofy. And then, what's her name? Jezebel. Who is the exact clone. It's so interesting when they, do, exact clones of characters and how that represents, the opposite in other characters this episode does. The freaking Vileplume stuff, when she had it, it was an oddish, but she evolved it because she grew up with it.
Take a note, Erica!
Whereas James had to leave that part of his life behind, so Growlithe stayed a Growlithe. Oh my god, I gush over this episode. I love this episode so much.
Yeah, no, this episode's fucking amazing. By the way, this is my number 2 episode in case you didn't pick up that. Number 1
episode?
No, yeah, this is my number 1 episode in case you didn't pick up on that when we just talked about it. And for the reasons he said, and Vileplume, first of all, represents Jezebel so well.
Yeah.
Jezebel is this prim and proper Southern belle, but she's toxic. So she has a toxic flower Pokemon. It perfectly represents her. Growly is a Growlithe. It's a loyal dog.
Yes.
And it represents James because he's just an innocent little boy. But then when he runs away, he has to leave that innocence behind. And it has to suffer with Jezebel and his parents. But it never forgets James. The scene where you hear growling and barking in the house, that's Growly hearing James, wanting to embrace him like a dog. And I'm starting to get teary-eyed because, first of all, it's a dog episode. And any dog episode of any show is going to make me cry because dogs are the f***ing best ever. And James, it gives so much psychological reasons for why James is James. His parents are rich f***ing assholes. They voted for Trump. They don't care about James. They just want to continue the family legacy with, yes, an exact Jesse clone. This, who is also just part of that whole Southern Belle rich heritage that he wants to upkeep the pure, dare I say, white lineage that they have. And the reason why James probably loves Jesse is because Jesse does remind him of Jezebel, but the good parts. The parts that that wanted him. Mm-hmm. And Jesse doesn't want James. Jesse accepts James.
Yeah.
There is a difference in that. Because Jezebel doesn't accept James, but she wants him. And Jesse's the exact opposite. It's better to be accepted than to be wanted.
Oh, that's beautiful, Nick.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so if you're dating someone, they should accept you. They shouldn't want you. Or if they want you, then you should want them too. Because that's also kind of acceptance. So, but acceptance takes priority. That's what I'm saying. And Ash and the crew, they're the background characters. They help out James. Mm-hmm. They don't get blessed off, right?
No, they don't. No,
they don't.
Do you remember the the last scene of the episode is so awesome because Jesse's going away on the balloon.
Yeah,
and
okay.
James runs up to her.
No, Jesse's not going. No, James has the balloon for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're just walking off, and they left the balloon with James for whatever reason. I guess James has just been paying for the balloon with his family's money. So James is like, no, I got the balloon for y'all. We're gonna go off on an adventure together. And by adventure, I mean
me and Jesse
following a little boy and trying to steal his Pikachu. But it doesn't matter because we accept each other.
And that part at the end when he leaves Growly and he dresses like a samurai, like a Ronin warrior or whatever.
You have to take. He still loves his family though.
Yeah.
You have to take care of my family.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing bad happens to them, Growly. I think I mentioned this in the review because I just listened to it. But James's ultimate team would consist of Growly the Arcanine. But yeah, no. Any episode that gets me teary-eyed is usually a good episode. And this is, I think, the only episode that's got me teary-eyed for this entire season.
That's fair. That's fair. When I rewatched it, I was very close to being teary-eyed myself. I was like, why? Why? Is it just because this is an amazing episode?
Because it's an amazing episode about acceptance.
It is.
And the awfulness of pure want.
And yet, that's not my number one episode.
I think I mentioned your number one episode already.
Yeah, you did. It's very, very close. I debated for longer than I should have between what should be number one on this list for me. And at the end of the day, it was Friend and Foe Alike was my number one. I even mentioned really early on in our review show that I had seen a 4 Voltorb episode of the anime. This is the one that I had seen, Friend and Foe Alike, probably around the time when it originally aired.
Now, how did you know that this was going to be a 4 Voltorb episode for you back then? Maybe you could have been jaded in life and then wouldn't have...
I could have. I really could have, because I didn't watch it again until we rewatched it. And, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I'm glad it wasn't worse than what I remembered. It was even better than what I remembered. Because, the Team Rocket stuff was freaking hilarious. And there were so many stakes in this episode. And just the animation looked great in this episode, in my opinion. The battle was so dynamic, and I had me on the edge of my seat, even though I knew how it ends. But it makes it so much more interesting. I know how it's going to end. But I still see it, and I still, had that drop feeling in my chest when Charizard just, lays down, and then that's the end. That's the end of his Pokemon journey. And I remembered watching that as a kid, and that really stuck with me. That not just that the main character of this show loses his match at the Pokemon League. It's not just that he loses, because this could have been the championship match. I mean, after all, Goku lost at his first World Martial Arts Tournament. But this wasn't the finals. this was top 16. There were still like 3 more matches to go after this. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even come close. Not only does he not even come close, the reason he doesn't even come close is because of his own failures that set up earlier on in the show with that Charizard not listening to him.
And Richie, who was the one who beats him, immediately loses the next match. Even though that's the next episode. But yeah, it's like, I love this entire arc and the way that this entire season wraps up, because it just puts so much in perspective of like, yeah, I might think this entire show is about me, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to get what I want automatically. Mm-mm. I have to work at it. I can't just go up to a guy with a torch and grab it from him.
It's funny because like episodes like that completely go against what this episode says. Like this fall is such a big fall. It's such a humiliating loss. It makes the emotional impact of it so great. And that's why I love it so much. Because it even sets it up like, okay, we got rid of Team Rocket. We feel good about that. We're going to make it just in time for the match itself. There's not a lot of time left in the episode, so that means that he's probably going to win pretty handily. He loses like a motherfucker. He loses like a little bitch. And it's because of his own failures. I love this episode a lot. And I actually, when I think about the Pokemon anime, this is one of the episodes I think about, and like I think about it a lot. And I think about like what it says, what the message of this show ends up being, of the value of hard work, and the fact that like just because you think that you're special doesn't mean you actually are. You still have to work for the things that you want. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's my number 1.
But question: why isn't Sleep Powder just a go-to KO move?
Gen 1 anime battling mechanics.
Like, if your Pokemon can't battle and it automatically loses because of that, why not just... Why isn't it all about statuses?
Well, to be fair, I mean, Sleep Powder wasn't a 100 accuracy move.
So just use it again. Just keep using it till it hits, and then you'll win.
Yeah, and in Generation 1, like, if you fell asleep, you had to use the whole turn in order to wake up, so... Oh my god, so yeah, you probably would have lost anyway. If you were put to sleep in Generation 1. Yeah. It's hard to win if you're put to sleep.
That's true.
And the only Pokemon, fortunately, every move that caused sleep was low accuracy, except for Spore, which is 100%. But the only Pokemon that knows that is freaking Parasect and Paris, and they're double weak to fire and double weak to flying, so.
Octuple weak to fire in later generations.
Yeah. You got anything else about our top 10 favorites and top 10 least favorite episodes? Oh, wait, we didn't do our honorable mentions.
Oh, yeah, honorable mention time.
All right, let's do some honorable mentions really quick.
Okay, you do...
All right, so my honorable mentions are, again, this is not really in any kind of order. Charmander the Stray Pokemon.
Yeah.
In retrospect, that's a really solid episode, you know. Very emotional with the Charmander and everything.
It just didn't make the list for me because Ash got Charmander.
Ash got Charmander, not Brock. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
If Brock got Charmander, that would have been easily a four episode.
That would have been so much better. Holiday Hijinks is on my list. I know it probably won't be for you.
No, it's not.
Because you didn't like that episode very much, I don't think.
Nah.
But, again, it's just an episode I have fun with.
Like, you also f***ing love Christmas.
I do f***ing adore Christmas. That's not why. I still have liked this episode regardless, but I still thought it was just a lot of fun and goofy and silly, and I like it. And Team Rocket's not annoying in it. Legend of Dratini is one of my honorable mentions as well.
The Ghost of Maiden's Peak.
Oh, okay. That
sounds dumb. No, yeah, it's dumb, but it's unique. It's not about Pokemon battles. It's like a straight up standalone episode. It's really cool in that. And like this Ghastly's a god. It battles so cool. By the way, I was looking through. We didn't even mention Venustoise in the review. We did not mention how he defeated Squirtle and Bulbasaur.
How did he beat it? Oh!
He summons up Venustoise.
Oh! I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that.
Fusing Pokemon, that's so f***ing cool.
That's the first time. This is the first time I thought about it since we saw it during the episode.
It's on honorable mentions because it is dumb. But it's still, like, a cool episode.
I just wish it had been more about Pokemon. The Legend of Dratini makes my honorable mentions. I think I mentioned that earlier when you were talking about it. The very first episode of the Pokemon anime, Pokemon I Choose You. I like that episode in retrospect.
It does have its stakes and stuff.
It does have its stakes. It sets up the show.
Primarily
wish it had been
You wish it had been what?
a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish it had better writing and stuff.
Primarily because Bananas is just funny.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. And my last honorable mention was Waterflowers of Cerulean City. Probably the best Misty episode in my opinion because she actually has something to prove and she's not a bitch about it.
That's true.
And her sisters were not nearly as annoying in that one as they were in Misty Mermaid. I watched those almost back to back when I was rewatching my favorite and least favorite episodes, and oh my god, there's such a difference. And the battle was really good in that one. So,
you know what? I'm gonna put this in my honorable mentions, partly because it's in your top 10 least favorite. Showdown in Poke Corral.
That was one of my honorable mentions. Yeah,
Because
that episode.
it is a nothing episode, but it's good to go over the actual philosophy of Ash and Gary. And yeah, it's better to show than to tell, but it's also nice to tell every once in a while. And like we know how f***ed up Gary is because he has 200 Pokemon and probably like 60 unique ones.
That episode's a nothing. I'm sorry. I can't even
Wow.
dignify it with
Come
a
on.
compliment. No, it's just not insufferable. That's the only good thing I'll say about it. It's not insufferable.
Oh, okay, fine. I don't remember any of your honorable good episodes, otherwise, or I agree with all of yours. So, but yeah, no, I like it. I like it, man.
I'm glad you liked it. All right, Nick, let's do Pokemon of the day, and then we'll call it a day. How's that sound?
That was a really dumb sentence, but yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
You asked me how it sounds. I'm just giving you my honest opinion.
All right, pick a number between 1 and 350.
You know, because we have been doing top 10s, let's do 10.
Oh, you mean like the number 10?
Number 10.
Not 10 Pokemon.
No. Okay, good. Okay, great. Ampharos.
Ampharos? Okay,
yeah.
So number 10 is Ampharos.
Yay, Ampharos.
Ampharos. I love Ampharos. Ampharos is one of my Pokemon I always have to use in Generation 2 whenever I play that game.
And that's my one gripe with Crystal, is that you can't catch a Mareep.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, Crystal is great in everything but the lack of Mareep.
So, let me go ahead and bring up Ampharos' stat page really quick. Alright, so Ampharos, the electric sheep thing Pokemon. I don't know why it has flippers. I never understood that, but other than that...
They're kind of just muscly legs.
Muscly legs? Oh, I get it now. But besides that, I love its design. It's such a cool design. It's awesome design.
It's Pokemon. A sheep, giraffe, dolphin, whatever. It captures like Nidoking and Nidoqueen. It captures the essence of a Pokemon.
It does.
You look at that thing and you don't think, what is that? A Digimon? That is a straight up Pokemon.
That's a straight up Pokemon.
Maybe it's Mega Evolution. You think it might be a Digimon, but even its Pokemon, even its Mega Evolution is still the Pokemon-esque. So it's just dorky.
So Ampharos is just a really solid electric type Pokemon.
It's slow for an electric type.
Slow for an electric type, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
It's got bulk.
Yeah. You're looking. Let's see. Its abilities are static, and then its hidden ability is plus, which is kind of not super useless, but you don't really.
It's situational.
It's super situational.
What's its Mega Evolution's ability?
Its Mega Evolution's ability is Mold Breaker. Now,
nice.
I'm not a big fan of Mega Ampharos. I like its design, but the fact that it's part dragon is kind of weird, and I don't know that was entirely necessary.
I think look up. I think it's based on something. Like if you search down its origins, it might say what it is.
Mega Ampharos' dragon type main. Its underbody suggests based on a Chinese dragon.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more specific about what kind of Chinese dragon, but I remember because it's got the 7 orbs in it, and it's got the long neck, and its mane is like the clouds that go around it, and it's a thunder dragon.
I mean, I like its design, okay, but I mean, I just not a big fan of it because I'm not a big fan of Mega Evolutions when they're like on a Pokemon that I really like and I don't think needed an improvement, and I thought Ampharos itself is fine because like you can make it like max special. The way I made mine was max special defense, max special attack. Gave it Cotton Guard, like Thunderbolt, a coverage move, Thunderbolt, and then 2 coverage moves. I don't have my game on me right now, so I can't tell you specifically. You see Thunder Wave on Ampharos a lot because, that patches up its slower speed stat. It has a really good, not really good special attack stat, but a pretty solid one.
Mine's 361 naturally. On level 100.
That would make it maximum, so I'm assuming it's like modest.
It's modest.
Yeah.
But Ampharos, I think, is tied for most, other than starters, the highest number of times it's been on my Pokemon team.
Same.
Because it was in my gold team. I used it to take down Red. And it was on my Black 2 team. Or my White 2 team.
It's one of those Pokemon that, like, almost every single time I play Generation 2, I have to use it because I love it so much.
It's adorable.
It's adorable. It's a good, solid electric type. It's bulky, which is good when you're going through the game.
Pokemon Go is teasing me so much because Mareep is so f***ing rare for some reason. Like, why? Is it because you could only catch it in one route? I just have enough to evolve it into Fluffy, but I want to hold off evolving it until I have enough to evolve Ampharos, because I love Ampharos, I love Mareep because it's adorable, but then Fluffy can f*** off.
It's funny because in my Black 2 game right now, I'm using a Fluffy because I'm
Eviolite?
Yeah, I'm using it with Eviolite because I'm using only Tepig. I'm not evolving it because Emboar.
Yeah, no.
And Tepig's cute.
Next time I play the 5th gen Pokemon game, I'm just going to switch out the fucking
just
starter.
Not use a starter at all.
Just going to be like, okay, Mareep, you're my starter.
So, Ampharos. Good, solid Pokemon?
Good, solid Pokemon.
Any criticisms of it at all?
If it were a tad bit faster...
If it had maybe a little bit more of a diverse move pool.
Because it is one of the few rock electric Pokemon, or any Pokemon at all, that can learn Power Gem.
Yeah.
So I wish Power Gem was stronger.
Yeah.
Like if it was at 80 or 90, that'd be fantastic.
It is an 80 base power.
It is
attack.
80?
It's an 80. I'm pretty sure it's
it was only 70.
80 base power attack.
Hold on, I got the page right in front of me.
No, yeah.
Okay, it's 80.
It's an 80
so if it was 90 power,
or if it
fantastic.
had like a secondary effect that does like every other freaking move. It gets confused very naturally, so you could like be a really
kind of tankier.
You could be a bag and do like Thunder Wave Confuse Ray.
Mine is named Deckard, by the way.
That's a good name.
Thank you.
That's a good name.
Do they dream of electric sheep? Probably. I don't know. If they sleep. So it's got Power Gem, Dragon Pulse, Signal Beam, because the diverse move pool thing. And then, of course, Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. Good Thunderbolt user.
Good old Thunderbolt user.
In Generation 1, in Generation 2, rather, you could use Thunder Punch on it really effectively.
Yeah, and it learned Thunder Punch upon evolution.
Upon evolution.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But now it's like trying to learn Thunder Punch, and you're like, no, stop it. Don't.
I'm glad it's not... I'm actually almost a little bit glad that's not a little bit more powerful because you don't see it so much in, like, competitive play.
And when you do see it, it's got that, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah,
you don't hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
You see it all the time.
Exactly. This might be one of my favorite Pokemon ever, honestly. I love Ampharos a lot.
So, are you giving it 4
I don't rate the Pokemon.
You give it you heard it, folks. Forrest's favorite. Forrest's giving it 4 Voltorbs. I'm giving it 3.
I don't rate the Pokemon. Only you do that. That's your thing. You do your thing.
Hey guys, I'm Forrest again, and I changed my mind. I rate Ampharos 4 Voltorbs. Nick convinced me just now.
You're a jerk. No, I didn't say that.
I did say that.
You don't even sound anything like me.
I sound exactly like me, and it's great. And oh, hey, Nick. Yeah, Forrest. Remember how you wanted to try, like, doing the cry of the Pokemon in the anime? If we haven't seen it in the anime yet? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned that once. So,
and we forgot to do that.
Yeah, Forrest. Yeah, we did forget to do that. Your voice changed. That's weird.
All right.
So it was one what we thought it'd sound like, and then...
What we actually think it'll sound like?
What we actually think it'll sound like.
So I think it should sound like Ampharos.
Ampharos. That's what it
I think it'll actually sound like Ampharos.
It's a giant sheep. It needs to be lower, man. It should be lower, but
you
because
know
Pokemon,
it's the Pokemon
high
anime.
pitched.
That's almost exactly what it's going to sound like. I bet.
It won't. Maybe Mega Ampharos would sound like that. Here's Mega Ampharos. Ampharos, yeah, Ampharos.
Maybe like
Ampharos. Wait, what does Fabio sound like?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Ampharos.
That doesn't sound like anything.
Ampharos. I'm a German
You
man.
sound like German. You're German.
Fabio's German.
Is Ampharos German?
Because he looks like Fabio, yeah, in his Mega Evolution.
Alright.
It's probably going to sound like Ampharos in its Mega form. Ampharos. But we're not going to see that till Kalos, so...
We're not going to see Ampharos for a good while, I would think.
Not till, I hope, Johto.
Anything else for this podcast in general, Nick?
Tell us your top 10 or at least 10 in the comments
sure.
below.
Tell us if you think we had good picks or bad
Tell
picks.
us to f*** off if you think we did. Tell us you want our children if we had good ones.
Say, hey man, the Kangaskhan Kid was my favorite episode.
And then kill yourself.
And then... The PokéBears do not endorse suicide.
Or advocate it.
Do not ever kill yourself. Please. Seek help if you want to.
It's a suicide helpline somewhere.
Alright. See ya.
Bye. Goodbye forever!